Alright, YouTube folks, feel free to jump ahead about a minute here. I'm going to give people just a second to get in here before I do a very brief deck tech on this deck. Alright, good afternoon everyone. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, and today I'll be streaming a donation deck list. I will be streaming with blue-white back-to-basic Stoneblade. I played another Stoneblade League this morning with an ambitious list, and I managed to 3-2 in spite of a Mishra's Workshop, really a pair of Mishra's Workshops just like coming back to haunt me the entire league. So now we're just going to play with something that's a little bit more reasonable. I really like the Disruption Suite in here. We have Spell Pierces and Snares at 1, Counter Spells at 2, Click at 3, Force of Will at 5 / like actually free, as well as varied removal at different converted mana costs, which is great because of like Chalice stuff. Yeah, this is it's a reasonable deck. This is still like the good guys, right? Like we're still a Stoneforge Mystic deck. We're not the bad guys here. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. I do think this deck list is a lot of fun, Trajan. I've played this once before. I went 4-1 when I did, and in the past I've had largely positive experiences with blue-white Stoneblade, specifically like the basic heavy versions. My success with like the Deathblade decks is okay, but this style I like better. This just kind of like suits my playstyle and abilities a little bit better. Does it still lose to elves? Well, probably, but we have a fighting chance, right? Like, we get to attack from a couple angles. We get early disruption, we get counterspell, we have, like, Supreme Verdicts and Meddling Mages. So, like, we can try, but elves is still really good. Oh, well, Eric, I'm glad you can catch me live, then. That's wonderful. I really like the Red Prison deck. I play that quite a bit. I still want to write 2 more articles on that. And those are coming. I don't know when exactly, but probably within about the next 2 weeks. So I streamed Blue-White Stoneblade this morning, and then I took a break for a couple hours to like pack up a bunch of stuff because I'm moving. Literally starting tonight, and I have to be out by Sunday. So I did some of that, and now it's Magic time again. Well, I'm glad on your day off you get to watch some quality Legacy content while doing whatever else it is you're doing. So versus like Death and Taxes, which is what I normally play, we're on the same general like Stoneforge Mystic game plan, but this deck goes about it a little differently. It tries to throw equipment on the borderline unanswerable True Name Nemesis and ride that to victory, rather than like back up some regular threat with Mother of Grims. I love the sideboard for this deck. I feel like it is very well suited to fight most of what's going on with the format right now, and I'm not changing a single card from when I played this last time around. This deck list is by Domingo Svilho, and I adore it. My deck is borderline unreasonable. Okay, I'll accept that. And hello, Ken. Since I've already played this deck before, I'm not going to go into like more of a deck tech than that, and let's just battle. One thing I do love about Stoneblade decks is I feel like the sideboards are always really good. I like the cantrip package holding together the core of your deck also works to make your sideboard cards better because you can find them more easily. And, like, alright, I don't know what I did to get into this organization, but I do not like it. Okay, there we go. So one I don't know how I turned that on. One thing I'd like about this is that like you have the 8 normal cantrips, and then you have 3 Snapcaster Mages on top of it, and Jace on top of that. So you get a lot of filtering to find your cards that matter. And like taking a look at the sideboard here, like you only have like 2 pieces of graveyard, like fast graveyard hate, 1 piece of slow graveyard hate. So like you have reasonable ways to find those. And against combo, you might end up doing something like, you know, boarding in all of these cards and then effectively just having more copies of them. So the Stoneblade lists usually end up feeling very smooth, unless for some godforsaken reason you're running a bunch of colorless lands in your Stoneblade deck. Who would ever do that? And Trajan, thank you very much for subscribing. You know, welcome to the cult of Thalia, and thank you for supporting my efforts. Enjoy your Thalia emote. I know the rest of the chat does. That is not true! Basic Plains, I played like 30 rounds of Magic over the weekend with Thalia. SCGCon was a blast. I absolutely loved it. I will be looking forward to the next one. I got to play in 2 Legacy challenges, the Duel for Duels event, and then the Legacy Classic. Like, as a Legacy player, I can't ask too much more than that. Yeah, I'm very excited to get another one of those that soon. I thought I was going to have to wait a whole year. I guess I should, like, look at those dates and maybe set aside a day off now for it. Personal day number 1 of the year is for GP Richmond. I can see personal day number 2 of the year being for SCGCon. 6 through 8. Okay. Seventh and 9th. All right. Beginning of the year. That's all fine. Not beginning of the year. Beginning of the month. So it'll be like before I go home for winter break. Surrender Monkey. No data on my phone. Is this like a command, like surrender, comma, monkey? Like he's pointing a gun at a monkey? Or is this surrender monkey as in he's a monkey who makes you surrender? Unclear. An epithet for people who give up easily? Alright, well, TIL. It's kind of unfortunate that by doing that, I open myself up to having a 3-drop being cast. Or, sorry, a 2-drop being cast that I might not spell snare. Like so. But if I didn't, I was, like, threatening a 3-drop that might wreck me. And I always remove Deathray Shaman on site. Card's terrifying. So, like, SCG Con was, like, an average to slightly... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, slightly below average finish for me in terms of results. But, I enjoyed it more than most of the Magic events that I've played in the past year or two. Well, this is pretty great. So I don't feel like I need Tundra. I don't feel like I need second Brainstorm. Just gonna put those back, play this, ponder, and very likely shuffle. Yeah. Perfect. That's basically what I wanted to draw. So, like, we don't know with 100% certainty that my opponent is Pile yet, right? Like, they could be a bug control deck, they could be, like, Bug Delver. Like, there is some degree of uncertainty what my opponent is playing. Third him would be rough. Now that my opponent has fetched a second green source, I'm leaning away from them being Pile. That can happen. Army of Thalia, I'm doing pretty well. Well, I'll brainstorm in response to that Leovold. I actually think I want to brainstorm a second time in case my opponent has Force blue card left. I don't just get, like, stuck with this. Stackzilla, that is looking at the positive side of life. Alright, chat, do not let me forget. I need to fetch on my opponent's end step. I do not want to draw the Tundra that is on top of my library. Leovold should have been a 1 white mana, 1 colorless 2/2. It'd be fine, right? Huh? Huh? That was a pretty great brainstorm from my opponent. Can't fetch planes with polluted delta, unfortunately. Not the best. Days. Days doesn't matter. I will take this hit. And then hopefully find a Swords to Plowshares. Opponent's last card is Days. So I get Swords to Plowshares, I get to go, like, Swords, Snapcaster Swords, and just, like, absolutely take over this game. Opponent, what are you thinking about? You have Days in hand. There's no bluffs here. Well, I don't know that I can shuffle that, Agate. Like, the Swords to Plowshares is so important here. I don't think I want to play this back to basics. I think I just want to hold up Spell Pierce to, like, Spell Pierce something that actually matters. Yeah, again, I actually considered that. My opponent's playing Delver. Well, we tried. So I actually need one more card. I just run Flusterstorm as something that can nug, like, cantrips or him. That's probably fine. It doesn't hit Decay, which is annoying. I also don't think it's crazy to, like, board in something like Elspeth just to, like, create infinite chump blockers for Tarmogoyfs. This hand, very good. So you get to play the guessing game of, like, are they going to lead on a turn 1 creature or a turn 1 cantrip? I go turn 1 cantrip. The way I'm doing this is, like, will allow me to lead, like, Spell Pierce either a turn 1 or turn 2 play. So I'm actually, like, hoping to get, like, him to here, I Spell Pierce it, and then I slam back to basics and win the game. I'm just gonna, like, cast something, see if my opponent wants to fight over it. They don't. Well, these cards are all absolutely amazing. I'm not fetching away any of this. I'll probably bury the Council's Judgment too deep. And I want my opponent to flinch first. So I'm not gonna, like, just tap out here. The brainstorm's fine. We are playing against Bug Delver. We are down a game currently. Yeah, an Abrupt Decay for my Back to Basics. That's not Abrupt Decay mana. That's Abrupt Decay mana. Wrong. Golgari Charm mana. I accept. Yeah, they have no basics, so, like, if the Back to Basics didn't just get destroyed there, it would have been crippling. I still think I'd go for it there. Library's fine. I can Council's Judgment that. That's also fine. I don't have any artifacts right now. Mmm. Delicious. I can just get greedy and jam Jace here, but a Spell Pierce would wreck me. I think I just want to, like, Council's Judgment that Sylvan Library away and leverage my True Name for a little bit. And then if they, like, tap out for something like a Goyf, I just bounce that. This also just, like, sets me up to use my mana very efficiently. My opponent's already used their Golgari Charm, so they probably don't have, like, that many. It's gonna be a Leo. Alright, Deluge for 1. I accept. Now if they play a threat, I just swords it, and then play Jace. And I'm okay with, like, playing that into a Spell Pierce, because if that gets Spell Pierce, my Jace doesn't. Ooh, buddy. Sweet. I don't really want this Flooded Strand. And I'm okay with the Rest in Peace after I've used my Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, Tipsy, there's an argument for trying to hide some stuff from him there. This is Mana Light, but I have 2 Ponders to find it, and I have, like, a very good selection of cards. How badly do I want to remove Deathrite Shaman? Is it badly enough to fetch Tundra? I don't really want to fetch Tundra. Merja, to some extent, yes, but, like, Batterskull still really matters in a lot of matchups, so I don't know that you can cut it from the deck. Although I've considered playing, like, another sword or something like that to make Brightling better. Cadaverous, I think Maverick is a fine choice. It gets to attack from different but similar angles. Please don't daze me. Fuck. Alright, we might just get Delvered this game. But if I get this Plains, like, opponent is pretty done. Uh-oh has been called by the chat. Okay, okay. So while my opponent is tapped out, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Tarmogoyf now because it's the biggest long-term problem. And then I'm going to ponder looking for another land instead of holding up Spell Pierce. Hot damn. Alright. Feeling good about this game all of a sudden. Yes, Tipsy, my opponent did Brainstorm and miss on Delver. That is indeed something that happened. Twice. He's presumably just got like a fistful of creatures. Which means if I ever get something like a Supreme Verdict... In case my opponent misses again, I'm just going to hold up Snapcaster Swords. And if my opponent misses, and they attack in with Delver, I just, like, play Snapcaster as Ambush Viper, and then Swords of Deathrite Shaman. Attempting the 2-for-1. Target Swords to Plowshares. Ahem. I may have made an error. We just want to talk about that. So, like, it's definitely, like, a mistake on my end, but it's not a mistake that matters since my opponent didn't flip the Delver. I'm Spell Piercing. I'm not Spell Piercing that. Alright, opponent has a Decay, but not the land to cast it. Because Batterskull's, like, crazy good against bug decks. Like, I'm gonna have Batterskull backed up by Counterspell. And Sword of Fire and Ice, apparently. And that's that. Like, a sword can just get decayed, and then I lose out on a ton of tempo, or I can go for the equip, and then my creature gets, like, pushed or something like that, and I lose a ton of tempo. If I get the Batter Skull and they answer the Germ, I just, like, bounce it and redeploy, or, like, bounce it and recast while holding up Counterspell. And I don't think I can really lose from there. Got him. I'm on the play, and I have a Spell Pierce on turn 1. Seems good. I'm just going to play Flooded Stranded Pass, though. I'm not going to, like... Ooh. Probably a combo deck if they mulled to 5 that quickly. I'm not going to Ponder because I don't know with certainty what I want out of the Ponder yet. But I can tell you after a mull to 5, I'm 100% Spell Piercing a Ponder. Unless my opponent is Show and Tell, I don't want any of that. And I drew it anyway. My opponent's Show and Tell, it's way safer to just play Stoneforge. But if this Jace resolves, like, I'm doing it. Opponent concedes. Okay, so how do we sideboard against, like, Ponder, Volcanic Island, Misty Rainforest? Like, I kind of feel like my opponent's Show and Tell. So let's hypothetically board for Show and Tell. And just, like, see how bad it would be if my opponent is not Show and Tell. I guess I could play Surgicals too, just like counter a big spell, Surgical it. My opponent might have been on just like a bag of bricks over there. Like they weren't cantripping. Oh, I want this. Okay, so like let's say my opponent is not Sneak and Show. How is this boarding? It's not that bad, right? Like if I get paired against Miracles, this is reasonable. If I get paired against some... Yeah, something like this is probably fine. This Supreme Verdict is maybe questionable. But I'm going to keep it. Just if my opponent shows in some random creature, it's nice to have an out to it somewhere. Hey, man. We're maybe playing against Show and Tell. White Border Ponders. I'm going to present a clock and show some degree of strength by tapping out. Alright, punished. I accept. If my opponent's just willing to jam like that, I should probably board in a verdict, the second verdict as well. This is medium. I tapped out for a Canonist. Opponent show and telled in an Emrakul. Did not work out for me. I wanted to like limit the power of Omniscience, and did not go well. Spell Snare can hit Impulse. It can hit a lot of the random Cunning Wish targets, like the green-white tutor card. Yes, Pyroclasm as well. Yeah, right, but I've still got all the Council's Judgments in the deck. Yeah, man, I think I agree with your first point. I don't know about the Mind Break Trap. I agree the Snare probably should have been boarded out. I just missed that. That's a wonderful, wonderful draw. So I can pay for a soft permission spell like Spell Pierce, but not Flusterstorm. I can't beat a force. This might not be good enough. I'm gonna get them to tap out, that way if they have like a sneak attack here, they don't get to kill me immediately. Well, I'm gonna come out ahead on this exchange. I didn't say anything, man. I didn't say anything at all. God, get a 2-drop. Okay. Well, Firemind's Foresight is going to get them a 2-drop, and then the Spell Snare is going to counter it. This is the first time I have seen hard cast Firemind's Foresight in Legacy. Alright, so what was that? Cunning Wish, Impulse, Brainstorm. Sure. Well, that seems pretty unbeatable. Alright. So got there despite potentially throwing away Game 2. Their Game 2 hand would have been hard to beat anyway because it was very, very strong. But I definitely misplayed. Min was right. Alright, folks, I'm going to take 30 seconds and run to the restroom, and then we'll go into the next round. Alright, good afternoon everyone. My name's Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University. That was quick. We're playing blue-white Stoneblade. Let's get in there. I think my opponent's a Dredge player. I'm gonna keep this. If my opponent is Dredge, this is not what I want. I thought that Cabal Therapy was going to be targeting me, so I didn't counter it, and I just clicked through it. If I had noticed it was targeting them, I 100% would have countered it. D&T hopes to win the Dredge matchup via mana denial more so than anything else. Yep, back to basics being an absolute all-star here. You're right. I don't expect to win game 1 versus Dredge. Why didn't an opponent, like, name, say, Force of Will or Brainstorm? One of the, like, default cards you name? Alright, let's figure out what bad. Back to basics is bad. Council's Judgment is bad. Jace probably gets pressured pretty easily. What does Snare hit? Snare hits like nothing. I thought we were going to get the mill kill earlier today. We were real close. Yeah, like there's the dream scenario where like exactly that happens, but most of the time I think it's no bueno. Maybe I do cut both Jaces and then trim one True Name or Stoneforge. Ooh, no, I guess click's kind of bad, right? Because I click them and then they get to dredge. I'll trim that. If they just natural discard, this hand does nothing, and I have no manipulation to find anything. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this one. I mean, I guess this one has a piece of manipulation. This doesn't feel good. Putrid Imp is getting forced. I'm going to brainstorm first. Get some information. So I'm probably pitching this Supreme Verdict. So put back True Name to hide it. And rest in peace. Alright, easy game. Yeah, Ken, hoping for another tough game. This hand's borderline. I think I mulliganed this one. It's very average. Like, I can ponder looking for a surgical on turn 1, or, like, hold up Swords of Plowshares. But I'd much rather, like, have a piece of counter magic, or a piece of graveyard hate naturally in hand. Yeah, I'm much more comfortable with this hand. put that on top. All right, let's see how insane they go. All right, Cabal Therapy, target themselves. All right, so they're all in on a Stinkweed Imp for right now. One, two, three, four, 5 cards. I don't want it. Don't want them to therapy themselves to get another go. And I don't really want to use a Spell Pierce on that. Alright. So the nice thing is this zombie can't attack, or I just get to like trade Snapcaster for it. Which I will do in a heartbeat. Well, that's unfortunate. So they still only have 1 Dredger, though. But if they hit, I'm in trouble. Please miss. They did not miss. Alright, I'm pretty dead. So 1, 2 therapies. Ugh. Sort of something interesting I could have done there is I could have like true named chosen myself so that my true name could die, but I don't know that that's actually good since there are so many bridges in the graveyard. Yeah, like I'm basically gonna need to hit like land verdict, right? Or I guess land verdict isn't even good enough. Alright, so be it. Like, we got the nut in game 2. I had a fighting chance in game 3 there. But I got super punished for tapping out for whatever for the Snapcaster Mage on the zombie token. Like I knew the bulk of their hand though. So I felt like it was a fine play at the time. Yeah, I'll keep this. I will brainstorm in response to that. I think I want to keep the Pierce. I think I want my next turn to be Ponder, Shuffle, Hold Up, Pierce, Pierce a cantrip if they play one. That can't be Council Judgmented away. I love Battle Bomb. Rifling is gas. Yeah, Moxall, I'm trying to get in my donation streams over the next couple of days because my weekend's going to be kind of crazy with moving. Doing this at end of turn as to not just get absolutely savagely blown out by something like kicked vines. I would take a donation stream for meat hooks. What did Nick Fit get from that set, Storm Thief? Oh, the Rector, sure, okay. The blue-white Stoneblade list has felt fine. I don't know that it's like the most amazing thing in the world or anything, but I would not be sad to register it register it for an event. Become immense, plays around Spell Pierce successfully. I don't know, but if you're looking at getting into Legacy, like D&T is probably a better long-term investment than Stoneblade. Like, Stoneblade waxes in and out of popularity and being good pretty frequently. I feel like I have the right sort of tools for this matchup. Like, these are the things that I could play that are probably fine. But most of my main deck tools seem pretty great. Spell Snare basically only hitting Blighted Agent might mean that I'm supposed to board that out. And then I just, like, trim one piece of fat up at the top of the curve. This hand is pretty great. I am a little bit brainstorm blocked. If my opponent doesn't do anything, I'm going to play an end-of-turn Snapcaster just to get a clock in play. Yeah, F that. Womp womp. Black-green Lone Pox isn't a deck. Not a real one, anyway. I don't mean that to be insulting or anything, but, like, if you can't even, like, be 1% of the Legacy metagame, it's just, like, not worth considering at all. Well, Captain QC, just saying. Like you can have some positive matchups or anything like that, but if you're not hitting 1% of the metagame, like there's not much to be said. The black set, if you really want a sideboard guide for that matchup and like a matchup primer, my bribery price is $20. Someone recently donated, and that's why one for Red Prison appeared. Otherwise, I have no immediate plans to do that matchup. It's not particularly popular currently. I didn't need a third land to make my hand functional or anything. Oh man, like proxies are the best way to start getting into Legacy. Like not close. If you want to get together and start jamming games with your friends before you throw down $6,000 for your copy of Checkpile, proxies are the way to go. Oh, Jesus. That card is super annoying for me. Since I have double swords, I should probably just counter that. Because I'm targeting my opponent's stuff at least twice, so they'll get at least 2 cards out of that. Oh yeah, Basic Planes. The prizes for that event were absolutely absurd. I did not expect this. Really wish I would have played this land out pre-combat. I thought there was no way in hell they were actually going to do this. The Gataxian Probe is cheating here. Now they know whether or not they can go for it. Now I think I'll probably just ship the turn to my opponent. And then draw step, click, no. Probably end of turn, click them if they don't do anything. I mean, if I spiked a playset full of duels, I would very, very heavily consider just snap selling all of them and paying off some loans. Alright, it's my turn to figure out what's going on. Invigorate, Invigorate, Berserk. Okay. So this is 2, 6, 10, 20 damage off a Noble Hierarch attack, but they have no protection. So if they have no protection, I just leave them with this. Oh, that's really good. Alright, so I have Force of Will and Swords to Plowshares. So I can put back a... Oh, this is interesting. Alright, I think I do this. Oh, this is neat. So... in order for me to keep, like, both Swords to Plowshares and this active, I need to, like, hold up 1 mana. Which means I can't, like, take Stoneforge and, like, make a land drop without dropping Force. So I might need to just, like, throw away this back to basics and let the shields down on force in order to go and fetch up a Jitte, which ends the game on the next turn, and one degree of protection is probably enough. And put back a Stoneforge and my blue card. Play this. And I'm going to fetch a Tundra right now so that I can't get, like, got by my opponent, like, playing some protection spell in response to me. In response to me fetching. And I can go ahead and safely attack in with this. Because if my opponent animates, I just get to kill this. And if my opponent blows an Invigorate to kill this, I do not care. Okay, so my opponent can hit this up to 10. So 4, 8, but I go up to like 21 life when I do so. So 4, I'm sorry, I just want to like triple check myself. So this is 8, 10, 20 damage. But in order to cast both of these for free, they would have to give me 4 life. They have to cast at least 1 for free. I'm 100% chump blocking. I'm just gonna like make sure that like 1 point of damage isn't going to like make me miss lethal. So if they cast one Invigorate, that puts it to 6. Then they put the other one that puts me up to 18. So I do need to chump, don't I? Because this is only blocking 2 damage and they can do 20, so I need to block 3 damage. And then if they drew another pump spell, I die. Alright, they drew vines. I'm dead. Huh. Didn't really expect to lose that. I guess I could have, like, not attacked with the Snapcaster Mage. Huh. Could have not attacked with the Snapcaster Mage, and then, like, have a Swords to Plowshares for whatever creature they go in with. Okay. No, I don't think I can give them that much time, Arkin. I think if I just, like, don't make any play on that turn, it doesn't favor me. Because they have, like, Sensei's Divining Top in play that they get to use for free every turn. Like, I think they just wiggle through my stuff eventually. I think, like, giving them one draw step is acceptable. All right, so while we're waiting here, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University. Today I'm streaming with a donation deck list. I am streaming with Blue-White Stoneblade. This is my third and last Stoneblade stream for the moment. I've made some small errors over the course of the stream, and I'll own up to those. But deck list has felt fine. Like, I feel like I have the right tools at my disposal. I've made a couple of small misplays, a few decisions that didn't go in my favor, but that's fine. I mean, who doesn't love Stoneforge Mystic? So for those of you saying, like, hold the Swords to Plowshares until he pumps, like, that's when you die. Like, if your opponent is going in and they start pumping and your opponent is competent, you are already dead and they can already beat a Swords to Plowshares. So, like, that's why I was so conservative with them, and I only used them at opportunities where, like, I wouldn't get blown out. Sure, Captain QC, that's the ideal world where that happens. Yes, I put down the shields, but I put down the shields knowing that if I get one more turn, the game is over. Like, my opponent is not beating that Jitte. I think that's fine. I think that's way better than, like, giving them a chance to continue sculpting their hand. My opponent has been playing Ant recently. This is an acceptable hand against a combo deck. I have a Spell Pierce to start things off with. If I sit back and make no play, then do I play the Stoneforge Mystic next turn, or do I just continue to stare at my opponent? I mean, I take my D&T pretty seriously, so I don't really do, bad fun ofs. Selfless Squire is acceptable in, Soldier Stompy because it synergizes with the rest of the deck. But in D&T, it's not, the best synergy around. I mean, if you're a D&T player, you can't play Humility in your deck. That's just not reasonable. They have lots of outs to Humility. It's just called, play a bunch of elves and kill you. They're still 1/1s. They still do damage. Why does it take my opponent so long to do, like, everything? Are they double queuing or something? Excuse me. Opponent dodging my hate pretty well. I feel okay if I get another turn, but I might not, just depending on how well they stack their brainstorm. Well, I'm pretty obligated to take this Infernal Tutor, and they probably have another Infernal Tutor on top. But, like, I just have to take this. Alright. So then they'll get me again and hit my Spell Pierce. But then they're just left with a bunch of mana and nowhere to go with it. If my opponent just tendrils me here, I get to Swords to Plowshares my click and go to 1 life. They're going to need to Gataxian Probe first, or like Duress first or something. Do I want to play a Verdict for Goblins and Xantid Swarm? I don't think so. F-Freak, because I was at 18 life, and if I Swords the Click, I go to 21, and it's going to do 22 damage, so I'm still dead. Give me some credit. I can do basic addition. Well, this seems good. Man, Probe's annoying. I hope they name Force, so that I can, like, safely draw my other Force. If they name the Mind Break Trap, it's a little more annoying for me, because, yeah, alright, perfect, perfect. Okay. I don't care if they're salty. Oh, okay, man. I got it. I understand now. Message received. That's fine. Yeah, you can keep all of that. Opponent's gonna have to chump block with a Xantid Swarm on their next turn. I guess I can draw a land and then I have a force in case they like duress me and take a force. If I don't need the force, I can just shuffle it away. When I'm on the draw, do I want any swords for Xantid Swarm? It's kind of annoying. Like, I could see not wanting to tap out for true names. And, like, cut 2 fat end cards to play 2 Swords to Plowshares. That's probably fine. This is like the D&T sort of hand, right? We have a lot of interaction. Some of it's a little slower than I might like. But I get to attack from like three different angles, kind of. That's not a good draw. Like, the only thing I don't want them to do is, like, probe and see that it's safe for them to go off this turn. Like that. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 cards in graveyard, so that's fine. Alright, so now I'm just dead, right? Verdicts are in the board. Yep. Alright, that's a little frustrating. But oh well. Like, without probe, I don't really think my opponent goes for it there. And then I stick, like, Canonist into Rip, and then have, like... So turn 2 is Canonist, turn 3 is, like, Rip with Spell Pierce backup. Womp womp. Okay, I thought the deck list was good. I felt fine about it. We didn't get there, and that happens sometimes. Let's see. So, tomorrow morning or afternoon, I'm going to do an Ant stream. I have a donation deck list that I want to get to. It's with, I think, Caleb Scherer's deck list that has, like, the Chrome Moxen in the sideboard. So I'll do that at some point tomorrow. The normal Wednesday night stream may happen, but I can't guarantee that it's actually going to happen. It kind of depends on, like, where I'm at with, like, moving stuff and how much I get done tonight. So there will be a morning or afternoon stream tomorrow. Wednesday night stream is a maybe. And then after that, it kind of depends on where I'm at in various stages of moving stuff. I'm anticipating a Thursday morning or afternoon stream, but it'll kind of depend on when my lunch plans are coming together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a quits here for today. Again, my name's Phil Gallagher, and I run ThrabenU University. If you're enjoying this varied legacy content, please follow. And if you're really enjoying what I'm doing and you want to support me, please consider subscribing or donating or, giving me a deck list to play on stream along with your donation and shape what I'm doing on this channel. Cheers, and I hope you all enjoyed.